Welcome everyone to ChessWhiz TV episode 114. Today is February 28th, 2015. Unfortunately, the last day of the month. February kind of got shortchanged this year, as it does every year. Life is not fair, not for February. I'm really excited today because the topic is Inside the Mind, and that's short for Inside the Mind of ChessWhiz. You guys get to know what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not the world's best chess player. In fact, this is hard to believe, but I'm not even the world's second best chess player. But I do know how the bishop moves. It doesn't jump over pawns even though it's way taller, so that's a special rule, and it can't reflect off the board and go like bounce and then checkmate. And those are some rules I know. So you can, what I'm going to try to do today is talk about what I'm thinking about. Like I never do that, right? Thought pops into my mind. I would never say that. I'm going to have to keep a careful check on my tongue, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some chess, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. Hopefully you guys will elevate your chess levels down to my level. That's what's going to happen, because most of you guys are better than I am. I have no idea why this is, by the way, but when I check who's watching, it's mostly really good chess players who watch, and that just blows my mind, because I'm like, why are you guys wasting your time? But they do, so that's nice. I won't complain. So let's resize this window a little bit. There, now it's fully resized. Oh, let's unresize it. Okay, time for chess. So I'm going to go with a little bit slower game, so there's time to talk about what I'm thinking about. So we're going to go with the 5 minutes, 5 seconds added. And hello to HB 20007. He says, long time man. And I say to him, long time man. It's a great greeting, unless you say it out loud. It's better to just read long time man, because if you say long time man, it sounds like there's some long man in the room. Okay, so now we're playing chess. This is a game that was invented in the past, and it's being played in the present. I'm playing the French defense because I am familiar with it. This is called The Thing, and I'm going to play the counter thing. This is the main line of The Thing. Now I play this move. So far we're in the book, which is in book means we're still playing chess as good players do. This is not like we're making up our own moves. This is like I read a book and it said to move here, so I am moving here. So now I forget what to do. I'm actually out of book right now. Now, a good player, by the way, if you watch someone really good like Zug Addict or Blitzstream or even Garry Kasparov, you would see them knowing exactly what Black's choices are here. They'd be like, okay, so he can play knight e7, knight c6, queen c7, or queen a5, and he would know White's responses to all of those things. Unfortunately, that's not in the mind right now of ChessWhiz, so I don't know any of those things. But the thoughts here, though, are this sometimes happens, queen g4, which puts the pressure on this pawn. Sometimes White even takes that pawn. And that's always interesting when that happens, because the book says, oh, well, Black can just, you know, maneuver a little bit and then lose this pawn also. But I never liked those lines as Black. I don't like losing my pawns. I like promoting my pawns. It's much different than losing them. So I'm going to maybe play knight e7 and castle in case he plays here. Because if I play something cool like queen a5, well, queen a5, that's interesting too. He's going offline, that little change to a red. He's like, this guy's so slow, I leave, and then he's back. Queen a5 is interesting because it hits this unguarded pawn. Maybe he'll block with bishop. So my thoughts here are queen c7, queen a5, knight c6, or knight e7. Those are my options. I really don't know what to do. This guy's disconnecting and reconnecting. Let's try knight e7. Let's try that. Because I don't have to make my decision. Look, there he is. So now I can actually just lose this pawn if I want to. But why would I want to? If I castle and bishop h6, the pawn is pinned, and so it can't take the pawn. That could be a little dangerous, but after knight g6, I think I'm okay. I'm actually going to castle into this threat, so we'll just see how it goes. I could also play knight f5 if he plays here. This is very interesting. Like, I'm attacking you, it's about to be checkmate, but it's not quite. I've got some nice moves some knight moves, sorry, that will protect me. Did I say nice? Well, they're also nice. So here comes the attack. It's going to be fast and furious. I'll send my queen out this direction in an attempt to distract him. The rule of thumb is if you're being crushed on the chessboard, fight back in the center of the board. And you can see these pawns are locked here. These pawns can't move, these pawns can't move. So he thinks to himself, nothing will happen in the center, so let's start getting crazy. But But I might be able to stir up some trouble in the center. I think maybe if I capture here, this pawn is pinned to his king. So that's pretty exciting for me. The center's starting to open up. If I can open the center, the attack will not be a problem. If I cannot open the center and create counterplay, I will have a problem because I have only two pieces even over here, knight and rook, and they're not that powerful. Meanwhile, this knight could easily attack me. This bishop easily attack me. This queen and this rook and this pawn. And this bishop also coming to d3 this way. That's like most of his army one move away from crushing me over here, and not a lot of defenders. If you just count the defenders versus attackers, it's not even close. So that's the reason that I need to stir up trouble. There's a lot of dangerous pieces that he's got. So he takes with knight, then maybe he doesn't take. He certainly doesn't want to take with queen, because if I trade queens, I'm going to take and see what he takes with or not at all. I think knight c6 here might have been better. Bring up my knight just because I need to bring out my pieces. Yeah, I should have done that actually. I should have just been pushing out my pieces here, because he'll leave this. He wants to attack as quickly as possible. But he's kind of slow. I mean, his queen is like this way, and then this way, and then this way. That's 3 queen moves going nowhere fast. But the pawns are rolling down, so how do I survive this? My goal is to lock up these pawns a little later. Maybe push. Maybe push, because it opens up queen across here to e5. I've got 6 pawns, and I've got 8 pawns to his 6. So I'll push. I'm ahead 2 pawns, so I would actually be willing to sacrifice a pawn in exchange for taking some pieces off the board, such as this queen, which is super, super scary. If I could just X to that thing, I would feel a lot better because it's such a strong attacking piece. So I'm willing to give up a couple of things for that. Now I think I have this check here. Looks pretty good. Now the center is open, so I'm feeling very, very good about this now. Maybe knight d5. Doesn't have any discovery moves, so let's try that. If he could move this knight with check, then that'd be kind of scary because it would open up the diagonal. As it is, though, I'm just looking for trades. I've captured many, many pawns now. The center is completely obliterated, so I'm just looking for trades. Anything that's a trade is good in my book. This is a great position for me. I think that his attack has been too slow. But it's not over yet. His attack is still coming. I take, he takes with bishop. I have to move my queen. He gets to make another move. That's pretty scary. I don't have very good knight moves right now. Maybe I move my queen now. I want to get this bishop out, of course. That's obviously I need to bring out the rest of my pieces, but this pawn is blocking it. So if I move my queen, I could move the pawn. So maybe here. Yeah. I really want to keep this closed up. So if he pushes here, I'm going to push right back at him and not allow any pawns to trade. Because pawns are like walls. And if you just don't trade them, then you keep walls. So he's planning to push g6, forcing some trades. But I definitely want walls to remain. So push. Nope. Nope, no, no. Here first. And then push. Now I've released this bishop into the game. I'm ahead so many pawns. So many pawns. I just have to not get checkmated here. How hard will that be? I'm thinking about f5. This is a really interesting move to me. He can capture using that old French trick, en passant, which is capturing that pawn and opening up the line there. So maybe I shouldn't. But if he doesn't capture, then whichever pawn he pushes, I push the other. I think I've got some defensive options here. I think I'll just bring some pieces over to the defense. The flavor of this game has certainly changed in terms of his attack. He now has 4 attacking pieces. I still have the rook. Now I have this bishop. And the queen is in the vicinity, so it's pretty good defense. I think I'll just go for this trade because I like trades. Looking pretty good. dangerous. I just have to close up this board here and I'm going to win. I'm playing f5. I'm going to try it. Thinking hard about f5. So he'll capture, I'll take with rook, and I just think that with the queen able to come across for defense, I'm going to have enough defense to stop this attack. And my center pawns are very strong. Okay, so take with rook. Double up my rooks. Then I'm going to have all my pieces in the game. This is a key thing in any chess game. Use all your pieces. He does not yet have his rook in play at all, and his bishop hasn't done that much yet, although arguably it's done some because it's come out here and then gone right back again. So this is bad for him. He needs to finish his piece development also. It's quite good for me to have my pieces out equally well, considering he's attacking. Hello to Beats by Death. And hello to Bizov 754. And I'm missing the monthly tournament. So sad. It is February 28th. Let's look in the tournaments. Monthly. It's going on right now. Monthly Bullet Arena is going on right now. Back in Black is winning. Okay. Push. No, defend. Let's defend. Okay. I don't think he has any more attacks. Hi, Hedge56. You're named after a bunch of greenery. That's really interesting to me. I push here to open up a discovered trade. And that's not a great move because I'm losing my powerful center, but it's stirring it up because I'm worried that he'll just bring another rook over here and it's hard to defend. And I just want to trade. I really want to trade. Oh, let's not get my rook skewered. That would be really disappointing. If I had played rook e5, the bishop could attack both rooks. Sign kind of one through the other kind of thing. Take this now. Why wouldn't I just take that for free? I would take it for free. The position is still strong for me. He's got all three attackers there, so I need to bring back all three defenders. There is nothing more for him. Rook f7 and queen a5. Come on, whiz. Queen a5. Don't really see any queen a5 now that there's no queen. M. Tuzel has much kibitz, but he's much late. Your stream's way behind, Matuzel. If you actually see the time at which I'm revealing your chat, you can see what the position that the game is in as I see your chat, which is this position. So different. So different than what you saw when you typed it. I received 2 challenges, one from Tuzel himself and one from BBYD. This guy has taught me everything I know about atomic chess. He always goes on and is like, let me teach you another opening, checkmate, because atomic chess is kind of difficult. Okay, so this position just became even better for me because the attack threats are gone. And he just resigns. Well, I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting here thinking, and he just resigns. And I didn't tell you what I was thinking about, so that was my bad, because today is Inside the Mind of ChessWhiz. For those of you just tuning in, I'm going to try to talk about what I'm thinking about. Unfortunately, that's really boring. Let's play Matuzel now. Because it's like, wow, slow chess and man talking. So maybe we should change it up after this. We're going to play another French defense, and we'll see what happens. We're fighting Matuzel himself. This guy was a special guest on ChessWhiz TV. Let me browse to youtube.com/user/ChessWhizTV and scroll down to special guest Mahir. This is Matuzel, if I recall correctly. Otherwise, it's not, but I do recall correctly. So that's pretty cool. Let's play this line. And you see, he has got a higher rating than I do, which is this is going to be called an upset when I win. The reason I play knight here first, for all you people who are wondering what's inside the mind of ChessWhiz, is I don't want to have to double my pawns when he captures. So this is a funny kind of French defense called the Rubinstein, where black just trades and tries to equalize. So I just offer trades, and I don't even know what I'm doing with that arrow. Ignore that arrow. So knight out, maybe just offer more trades, just chase him down. You know what I mean? I think so. Why would I do that when I can castle? I think moving the same piece twice is a bad idea. Guys who are just playing their chess openings, which is you, at the beginning of the game, you should not move any piece twice. So each piece like this, one move for the knight, one move for the bishop, one move for the knight, one move for the king, one move for the rook. You see how I did that there? You see what I did there. One piece, one move. That's a good rule of thumb to get all your pieces out, because if you dedicate a lot of moves to one specific piece, you probably aren't dedicating as many moves to your unspecific pieces. So don't do that. I've received a recommendation to play a vegetable. I'm not really sure how one plays a vegetable. I tried playing against the cabbage once and it ran out of time on move 1. Since then I have not tried playing a vegetable. It's really boring. I would rather play against Charles Babbage than a head of cabbage, because at least it would smell bad, because Charles Babbage has been dead a long time. I've always laughed at Charles Babbage and Alan Turing also. These guys have such weird names. I mean, I'm Turing him off now. He invented the Turing machine, which sounds amazing. Till you hear that it doesn't exist, it's just an idea. I should invent the ChessWhiz machine. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so my purpose with c5 is to fight back in the center with space. Obviously, that's my purpose. Unfortunately, now I'm getting an isolated pawn here on the d file. It looks like whether I push, if I push, then my pawns, you know, I could push and then b5, b4. That might be interesting. Because if I capture, he takes with knight, and my center's kind of second best center in the game in terms of weak pawns. And challenges are pouring in. We now have 3 challenges, 4 challenges. Zadrez wants to play a 14-day game of Atomic. That would be so exciting. 14 days of Atomic Chess on ChessWhiz TV. It would go span over the next 4 or 5 episodes. Dan wants me to know that Alan Turing is an amazing man. Have you met him personally? If not, I would be careful what you say. Should I get checkmated? I've changed my mind. I've decided not to get checkmated. At first, I was like, well, maybe. You know, it doesn't seem too bad. But after further consideration, I decided that checkmate right down here would not be the best outcome yet. I'll put that off for a little while. Now, my knight move is definitely next, so that I can bring bishop to f5 with tempo against the queen. So it's b6 or f6 here. b6 is kind of outside everything that's going on. So I'm favoring f6. Not too difficult to decide. The b pawn here is thinking about going to b4. This is a rule of thumb when you've got pawn chains here. His pawn chain is pointing this way. Sorry. And mine is pointing this way, I guess. And so when you want to attack a pawn chain, you should strike it at the base of the chain, or at least as far back as you can. So to strike this base, it would be right here. So my moves should be like this, actually, to hit the pawn chain at its base. Or at least here, which is more the base. You should not strike the head of the chain, because it could just trade off and you're fighting another chain slightly shorter. Didn't even improve anything. Let's keep attacking this guy. Because if he trades a bishop for knight, then I've got a knight for bishop. I like bishops more than knights. So give me your bishop. I'll give you my knights. How does that sound? So that's why I'm thinking b5, b4. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, now I'm going to get checkmated. Guess I'll move here, because queen g7 is checkmate. I'll draw a little O over that. Over it. Take. He takes. Then I I guess I'll take this way first. Yeah, you're so smart. Wow, this is actually really extremely smart. Too bad it's not me thinking up these moves. Because now he's got queen h7 checkmate, and if I take that knight, then he's got queen g7 checkmate. So I'm pinned to my own checkmate, if you can imagine that. Amazing. I lose. Amult 247 wants to know if he can play against me. Great question. The answer is maybe. Are you on this list? You should challenge me. You're not on the list of challengers. That's so disappointing. Unless you're one of these people. Tell me who you are, Helmholtz. because I don't think you're any of those people. Maybe you're flying queen. That'd be pretty cool. I think I'm in checkmate here. So much for Inside the Mind of ChessWhiz. Get out of my mind. Checkmate. 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 You're amazing. I resign. That was an amazing attack. And actually, g6 weakened my position, as you saw. Let's just analyze that game a little bit. When I played g6, you know what? I'd like to have the computer help me here. I'm requesting a computer analysis. For those of you guys who are new to this website, you can visit it at lichess.org. Let me hide my logo. Whoops, not that logo, this logo. See over here, it says lichess.org. This is the URL, and you visit here with your internet browser, such as Internet Explorer. And then you can play chess on the internet. You don't have to download a virus. Then you can play a game and click this button that says computer analysis, and the computer tells you what you should have done. And in this case, it didn't like knight f6. It liked rook e8. And that's because here, he should have played here immediately, attacking h6. So these pluses here mean that white's slightly better, except they're actually minuses in this area. So here come the pluses, 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 pluses. g6. So he's now ahead half a pawn, according to this thing. 0.5 is half a pawn. So this is a really weak pawn over here, and that's too bad that I played h6 and g6, because it's actually really hard to defend this pawn. I mean, I could play king h7. Maybe that's what I should have done when the pressure showed up. Bishop f5 mistake, should have been bishop d4. Queen d2 mistake, should have been bishop takes. Oh, that was not the mistake. This should have been a trade of bishops, and the reason is now I'm going to lose that pawn either way. So now things are jumping around the screen. But he's ahead a lot. He's ahead by a piece here. Even though I just felt like I had lost one pawn, I'm actually down by a whole knight. You can see the scale. This is really cool too. It's like everybody's even. Oh, green is getting ahead. Green gets way ahead. So let's play another player. And we've got some choices here. Play against the flying queen because he's been waiting the least. Guys, did you know that life is not fair? Life is so not fair. The oldest die first and then the youngest, except when the youngest die first. And it's just not fair either way. Who gets their driver's license first and then who totals the Jeep? I don't even know. But it doesn't happen fairly. So you're just going to have to get used to that. And one thing that's not fair here is that some of these guys have been waiting for the entire show to get a game against the Wiz. And now Flying Queen, who just shows up, he's like, hey guys, he gets the game. Not even fair. You should probably file a class action lawsuit against Flying Queen for doing that to you guys. Oh, look at the chat. Oh, look at that. Emerald247 says, accept Flying Queen. This must be his brother. And he's like, play against my brother. I would like that. It's him. It's him. This Amelt guy is Flying Queen. What a code name. I think Flying Queen chess would be very interesting. The rules of Flying Queen chess are as follows. On your move, your queen can fly anywhere. Guys, you should try it. How does it work? How does Flying Queen chess work? Your queen can move anywhere. That's how it works. Except you can't take the enemy king with it. You can move anywhere else. So I guess you would fly to take a rook on your first move. And then the other guy would fly to take your queen on his first move. And then you'd be in big trouble. So don't do that. This is interesting. I need to start thinking about this game. He thinks it's so funny that he can see and hear at the same time. Dude, I see and hear every day. I wake up, I'm like, oh, am I hearing or seeing? Both. It's so great. Okay, so let's see. Bishop. My bishop's in trouble because if I take this knight, the pawn takes and it's attacking my knight, so I move it and then I lose my bishop, so don't lose the bishop. Also, he could just take the bishop, so there's two reasons the bishop's in trouble. One option is here and the other is here. I'll choose this one. There's a little bit of danger of this bishop getting trapped, but only a little bit. I just said a little bit. Flying Queen uses an engine, it seems, according to Hattori Inukai. Let me say that again. According to Hattori Inukai, Flying Queen uses an engine. Let's take a look. There's not any good clues there yet. If he does use an engine, I will call him out on it with my telephone. Should be good. should be good. So the reason I'm moving these pieces right now is so that they don't get captured by his pawns. That's what's inside my mind right now. For those of you just tuning in, this is episode 114 of ChessWhiz TV, and it's entitled Inside the Mind. It was a mistake, I admit, because there's nothing good inside the mind of ChessWhiz right now. But I'm trying to explain what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking I need to castle, which would be these red arrows. It's not called rooking, it's called castling. And I also need to bring out my bishop and queen. So look at that. I can't capture this way or I lose my rook. So I have to capture this way, and this pretty gross pawns. The rule of thumb with pawn captures is capture toward the center. So like your rook pawn should go over to the knight, you know, etc. Like that. So this is away from the center. This is bad. Just according to that rule, which always must be obeyed because rules must be obeyed. I trade there because he has two attackers. Now I either castle or bring this bishop out, I think. Oh, he does the same thing, capturing away from the center. What kind of an idea is that? Flying queen? What a name, what a game. Can't even believe it. I mean, I tried to believe it. I made a pretty honest effort, and I simply couldn't believe it. So take, he has to castle so quick, or I'll check him. Bring out my bishop would make sense. I don't think he wants to castle over there is the thing. That's the thing, though. So let's see how it goes. I think he's left his king in the center too long. It might be painful for him. So check. And he blocks with bishop. We know he'll block with bishop. What we don't know is which bishop. That one, I think that's a bad mistake because you can't castle now. So should I play d4 to get rid of my isolated pawn for his backwards pawn? Or should I play bishop d6 so that I could, bishop f4 so I could play bishop d6, getting ahead there, so that I could, you know, no, he's going to close up this thing with his other bishop. So let's play d4. I mean, I want to put some pressure on right away. I was also considering queen e2 because he just can't castle and I can just checkmate him so quick. However, bishop e6 really blocks off everything. So I have to keep that in mind as I play my moves. You know he'll play bishop e6. He still can't castle. Let's bring these pieces out. There's an interesting bishop c7 attack hitting two major pieces at the same time. So maybe that will become useful here. Got something defending that, perhaps through an x-ray. It got off this file. It's very dangerous to have your queen or king across from an enemy rook. I don't even care what's in between. You could have 6 pawns in between. I would still worry just because it's the file of danger when you're there. It's very dangerous. So file. And he says, thanks for the bishop e6. Great. He's listening to the stream, and now I'm helping him beat me. So, it's funny pawn structure. After I take, we're both going to have strange pawns. I'm thinking. I should tell you what I'm thinking about. We are thinking. What are you thinking about? Let's go here or here. Let's go here. And then let's push A. I don't like how my rook is defending this thing always, so I'm going to move it for sure. He says I have no time. This tells me he's not a ChessWhiz TV regular. Flying Queen, do you think I have no time on my clock? We need to redefine time and define it as, you know, the way ChessWhiz TV defines time, which is a much different way than you do. Okay, because I have so much time, it's like 108 units, and each unit, well, not 108, did I say 108? I meant 68. In each unit, I could make about 10 moves, so I've got a lot of time left. Oh, he adds me time? Flying Queen, what are you trying to do? Make my show so boring everybody disconnects? Get out of here. I think I'll just offer you a draw right now, which will be meaningless because he will not take it. But most of what I do is meaningless, so that won't be too unusual. I can't believe you did that. The show was just getting exciting as I started to have no time, and then you just... I can't even believe it. I can't even. I started and then I couldn't. Annoyed. Reminds me of a great tongue twister. Annoys an oyster, but a noisy noise annoys an oyster more. I'm a tongue twister aficionado. And I can say unique New York, unique New York, unique New York until my tongue falls off. Yellow leather, yellow leather, yellow leather, yellow leather, yellow leather. You try it. Red leather, yellow leather, green leather, blue leather. You guys are going to fall over your faces saying that. That's why I stay away from leathers, because it confuses my tongue. I don't eat leather, by the way. For those of you who think that's why it confuses my tongue, it's not true. It's a different reason. My knight has no home, so it just hops and hopes. It's hoping that he takes it, actually. And instead of taking all my pawns. Take my knight! This is terrible. My position is starting to fall apart, and my opponent thinks he's so clever by giving me so much time. So I got a trade here. Unfortunately, I'm down 2 pawns, but I'm trading, which is actually bad now that I'm down 2 pawns. But what can you do? Apparently not win or draw. Oh, Beats by Death has a new one. He says, say Irish wrist watch 3 times fast. I haven't practiced that, so that's going to be very, very difficult. There's a little chat. People are just taunting each other, but I can check and say, oh, look, there's a moderator in here. Adnurak is going to kick you out if you ever do anything inappropriate, so I'm not even worried. I have to save my bishop. This is a poor position, but maybe I can pick up this pawn, after which I could draw after 8 minutes and 36 seconds go by. So Irish wrist watch. Irish wrist watch. That is so difficult. Irish wrist watch. I'm just prepping my tongue here. I'm prepping my mouth, which sounds gross. Oh no! This is actually not just sounding, this is looking gross right here. What are these rooks even doing? Hey, I know. I'll pin his bishop to his rook. Then he can't take me. Whew, that was close. Too bad I'm still losing. Irish wrist watch. Irish. Take, checkmate. Okay, okay. Decided not to get checkmated. Oh no! That's not going to work. Oh no! Ah, my back rank mate is causing me problems. Irish wrist watch. You can't even type it fast. I'm watching you and you're like, wish, 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 wish. Wow. Okay. Irish wristwatch. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3 times fast. This is so pathetic. Flying Queen is going to beat me, and I have more time than I started with. Maybe I could pick up this pawn, though. Watch and see. I'm really hoping for that pawn. Take, bishop takes, and he's pinned, but not for long. Take, bishop takes, and he's pinned, but not for long. Great, I already thought that. The same thoughts twice. So the new plan is to run him out of time because I'm not so generous as he. So let's get out there and do that. This will work, actually. Actually, it won't. Rook behind the passed pawn is the next rule of thumb we're going to follow today. He has put his rook behind his passed pawn. That's actually the right rule of thumb, no matter whether it's your pawn or not your pawn. You should also play that way against the opponent's pawns. Irish wristwatch. I have to play this way. Oops, that didn't work. That didn't work. Guess I should not have moved out there. Didn't expect him to move there. Uh-oh. Why didn't he pre-move promoting? That was a mistake. 7 seconds to checkmate. I think he's going to lose. 2 seconds to checkmate. Wow. Wow, you're really bad at checkmating. I've never met anyone this bad at checkmating. Well, thanks for at least not checkmating me. Wow. Okay, so you know what I think you should have done? Cancel rematch offer. I meant to analyze. I think maybe what you should have done is checkmated me, especially right here. Especially right here with rook takes h2. That would have been a nice checkmate. Oh, so that was actually, let's see what the result of that game was. Did I have any pawns left? Maybe that's what he tried to do, is take all my pawns. It's actually considered a draw because with no mating material at all, I have only a king, and I don't have any mating material. We're not going to talk about what that means for a young man such as myself. It's a draw because I can't checkmate him. That's what I meant to say. Can't checkmate him. So thanks for that draw, and thanks for not checkmating me. And he says, no, no. Too bad for you. What a noob, flying queen. You should probably never log in again. You're just going to be mucked. Look at all these choices. I could even play Drago. I can't pronounce him, so I can't play him. Let's play with BBYD. He's a lover of ChessWhiz TV. Not in the literal sense. This is from position, which is pretty strange considering it's a normal position. Oh man. who can't promote their pawn? Who can't push their pawn? Do you know that I'm playing the black pieces right here? It says ChessWhiz is black. You got to watch out for that. When you're playing with Babid, you got to watch out. Here we go. Oh, that was the wrong move. I'm already going to lose. Nope. No, I'm okay. Ha! Ha! Bet you didn't see that coming. I love chess, especially when it's not chess. And this doesn't look very chess-like to me, so it's pretty lovable. Uh-oh. Okay, this is symmetrical. I think he could have won, actually, with knight b5, threatening knight d6 checkmate. Although that's not d6, it's e3. My brain hurts. It's interesting. We're actually just copying each other, isn't it? That's very interesting. What's inside my brain? What's inside my brain now? Confusion is in the brain of ChessWhiz. I should just keep promoting things? I mean, how could that go wrong? I'll move that out of the way. No, this way, because now I can promote over here. This isn't making sense. Flip the board. Ha! You can actually click this button. It says flip board, but it should say flip brain out. Because when you click it, then you're like, okay, so I'm black and my pawns are going down. That's going to make a lot more sense, especially for people who are just tuning in right now. Their minds will be blown twice. So I'm actually excited to do that to them. Let's just leave it this way. So pawns are moving down, guys, for all of you who were already here when I clicked flipboard. But for you new people who are just now tuning in, you can just stay confused. I don't care. Ooh, now where's the... I mean, there's supposed to be some nice checkmate here. There's so much power on the board. He's taken my pawns, which we're going to promote. So clever. Let's try that, because this knight is actually only defended by one piece, that queen. And if I capture this queen, well, he'll recapture with rook. So maybe I don't have anything. I also have knight here now. I've got knight, what is this? Knight g4? No, everything's backwards. This is knight b5. Wow. Brain's brain. Oh, you're right. I have not said Irish wristwatch 3 times in a row. Here we go. Irish wristwatch, 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 Irish wrist. Yeah. You win, but I sure did it 3 times, not 7. 10 times is the real challenge, you know. You have to do it 10 times. New boat. No, not new boat. It's New York. Toy boat, 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 toy boat. 10 times. You guys try that 10 times. 3 times toy boat is just not quite the same. 10 for the men. That's what I say. If you're a man, you say it 10 times. Or not at all. Actually, most men don't even say it. They're just like, I can't believe you told me to do that. I'm leaving right now. And what does he do? Resign? No, that sound is another challenge coming in. Now we have 6 challenges. Another from Flying Queen because he's tired of drawing against me. Varapsak, Dragimodi, Kiriak. And Zadrak is very patient as well. Look, I can get a queen with a bishop. I should probably take that. Why did he even move there? I don't even know. I should probably take a queen with a bishop. It's hard not to do that. Knight out. I'm interested in some checkmates. Don't have any yet. Toy boat. Oh, Beamer. Beamer went with towboat and toy boy. Very difficult. It's easier when you're typing it, you know, because then you can say, oh, I missed that letter. Shift left arrow. What's going on? He resigns? Did he just resign? White resigned, black is victorious. I don't even understand what's going on. Sorry, but Boyd, I don't have time for you. I have to play against Life in a 2-minute bullet game. Life has been waiting almost the whole stream, so let's give him some game right now. Here's some game, Life. Bring the game. Oh, except he's not on his computer. There we go. Okay, so this is a 2-minute chess game. Let's play the Sicilian defense because I don't know what I'm doing. Pre-move that capture. You don't know what you're doing. That's what I should have said. Because this isn't right. It's wrong. There, now we've traded into an opening about which we are both familiar. You guys are so close. It's like a 1 in 6 that I will play you next because my actions are pretty random. So I still want to bring up my pieces here. This is kind of problematic. There's a rook across from my king, and I can block it with knight or bishop, but if I block it with knight, my bishop doesn't come out. And if I block it with bishop, then this pawn doesn't get recaptured. So it's kind of sad all around, but this is the greater of the weaker moves. Maintain the pin. Usually you should not just take this knight with this bishop like this. I mean, you're trading a bishop for knight. Who would ever want to do that? Not me. So every now and then you should. I won't tell you when it is, though. That's up to you. This is such a bad, you know, he's just going to take this thing, so I'm tempted to push it. Yeah! This is not generally what you want to do. You don't want to, and this is the second time I've done this episode. You've got your 2 pawns like this, and then you're all, okay, so I'm going to push my c-pawn and have no pressure anywhere. That's not a great pawn structure, although people sometimes go for it, as you've seen. I've already gone for it twice. This looks like something I could attack in this area, though. Definitely looks attackable. That's such a bad bishop blocked in by these pawns. Yeah, that's not the right move sequence. I don't think rook b1, rook a1 is what the computer would recommend, which means it's not what I would recommend. I only recommend what computers recommend. Let's hit these pawns a little bit harder. Maybe double up my rooks here. How's he going to even defend them? You can't even. Ah. 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 Here. I guess. This only delays my problems because eventually I take, and then when he takes his rook is attacking me like this, so that's not so good. Oh, good. Take. He takes my queen. This is more like it. I like this a lot. I like this much more. I think that if he had just moved his queen to c2 before, instead of now would be a bad time to move queen c2, then he would have been just fine. If I have to take that. No, you've trapped yourself. Ha! That's pretty cool. How often do you see this? About once every 25 hours of chess. And that's my approximation. I like to take every question literally. And so, how often do you see this is a question that can be taken literally? So I'm taking it literally. I literally am. Now I'm taking your pawns. Oh, X-Ray LX tuned in. That means it's time to end the show. It's time to end everything. I think I'll end X-Ray LX, actually. I'm going to end you. Take that pawn. Do I care? No. Keep bringing my pieces out. 30 seconds to 16. Oh, that's not the right move. I mean, you've got to create some counterplay. I don't think trading off your last pieces qualifies as counterplay. Looking pretty good. Sure, I'll trade. And I'll take for free. Promote this. Checkmate this. Checkmate! Good game. Life, you kept up pretty well, actually. Whoops, I don't mean to click rematch. I'm sorry. I want to click analyze and look at this game a little bit. You kept up pretty well. I actually think you have a better position here because you've already castled. You've got some threats here. And I think maybe on this move you should actually just take me because my pawn is only defended by 1 and it's attacked, so I can it's attacked with defend, whatever. It's as you can see, the bishops are working together to neutralize each other, so I can't recapture immediately. And the problem is I can't recapture a little bit later either. I actually have a hard time ever taking that pawn. So I was really worried that would give me a disadvantage if you took. And that's why I pushed it, because I didn't want you to take me there. At this point, I still think I like your position. These pawns are definitely hard to defend, as you learned during the game. But it's not the end of the world. Here, I don't like rook a1 because rooks shouldn't be defenders. It really just ties you up. Rooks are powerful pieces and they should be attackers. So I think actually just pushing this pawn 1 square would have been better. Let the pawn defend the pawn instead of the rook defend the pawn. But rook b1 really is for preparing, I assume, this move. You really want to be pushing out of here. I mean, I do have double pawns, so you're helping me by undoubling them. But I don't know why else you would be playing rook b1. I think that's a little bit strange otherwise. So this is actually where you started to go from having an advantage to a disadvantage. It's because once you've moved your rook twice, you've lost a lot of time, and I've regained, brought out the rest of my pieces and started something on the queen side. In this position, I actually think that you could just save your queen and just calmly get a really nice position, because this pawn is not easy to defend. I don't really want to recapture with pawn and have 2, whoops, that's the wrong direction. I don't want to have these 2 pawns, that's the wrong character also, and not this pawn. See, I don't want 2 double isolated pawns. That's really bad. So you capture, I take back with pawn. Bad, bad pawn. So that's really tempted me to take you. But then when you capture towards center, your pawns are working well together. They're all in one kind of group. This is called a pawn island after you've captured in this direction. So they can all kind of defend each other, which is good. Pawns should defend pawns, not your valuable pieces. And it also opens up this line for your rook, so you get some counterplay immediately. So I actually think if you just saved your queen and not done your fancy b4 move, then you'd actually be doing better because you'd keep up the pawn resolution would occur in your favor, I think. But there's probably something obvious that I'm missing besides what just happened to my screen, which was shocking. So let's ask the computer analysis what I'm missing, because we're getting some chats in here. We got Matuzal saying bishop takes c8, bishop ba5, bb2, won 2 moves ago. That bishop takes c8. Okay, so that's like taking his rook. That's pointless. X-Ray needs to go. He just came for the shout out. Okay, okay, okay. Shout out to X-Ray LX. Hope you like that. You got your shout out. Bishop c6 wins against queen c2. That's what I was concerned about, which is why I actually decided to ask for computer analysis, because I noticed this move. If queen c2, whoops, here. If queen c2 here, then bishop g6 hits it again, and it's kind of hard to keep the queen safe. But I think queen d1 is okay. I actually think that you can escape not getting captured. So I'm interested to see what the computer says. We'll just wait a moment. Guys, everybody wait. Everybody wait. We'll take this time to go to twitch.tv and see how many viewers are waiting. That'll be fun. And guys, I should probably show you some analytics, because who gets to do this? Except... Guys, everybody... Whoa. Whoa. 69 people! You just blew my mind. 69 people. I should show you guys. Whoops, that's the wrong YouTube channel. This is my YouTube... prowess. This is my emperor. I'm the emperor of YouTube. I have 2 channels, ChessWhiz TV and Chronos Crypto, and this isn't a channel. Don't even look there. And so let's look at the analytics here, because I want to share this with you, because you're my favorite viewers right now. Take a look at the last year. ChessWhiz TV, guys, has been going on for a long, long time. This is episode 114, so you could do the math. We used to do it 3 times a week, and then I just about got burned out. So instead of canceling, I went to 2 times a week. Let's go to views. Take a look at this graph. It's spiky. So let's go to the weekly graph. So what you'll see is here, views started out tiny. This is YouTube views on the YouTube channel. Then they shot up here. Around the time that I went from 3 times a week to 2 times a week, this is like in this area, and they started to drift down because obviously there's less content, so there were less views. But recently there's been a huge pickup of viewers, and a new record was reached, 352 views in one day. So I thank you for that. Also, if you look at subscribers, they're pouring in like never before. Actually, like last year. This is week 28 of 2014. Good luck doing that math in your mind. So I just want to share with you guys what we're looking at. 150,000 minutes of people's time wasted on ChessWhiz TV. That's pretty mind-blowing. 9,009 viewers. That's amazing because it's a symmetrical number. If you read it backwards, it's the same as forwards. 128 subscribers is cool because that's 2 raised to the 7th power. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 128. So thank you to that subscriber there. For that. That's all pretty cool. And this is the control panel where I waste your guys' time. So the analysis is finished, and it says black is winning. Anyway, that was fun to show you guys. Maybe you didn't want to see it, but this is actually saying that black starts to win after b3, and it recommends queen d1. So I was right in saying you shouldn't close that up, but queen c2 actually was slightly, or maybe majorly, improved by queen d1. But anyway, move your queen out of the way is the point. And then black is actually ahead quite a bit here, over a pawn's worth of advantage. And then when you get your rook trapped, it goes downhill from there. We have time for one more chess game, so we're going to select an opponent here, except we're not going to select Zadraz because I'm not going to play a 14-day game. So let's visit random.org. and get a number from 1 to 5. From 1 to 5, and the answer is 3. So we're going to do number 3. 1, 2, and we have to skip him. Oh, you could have won, but a 14-day game's not going to happen. And it is Flying Queen again. You know, the chat is full of play Flying Queen, play Flying Queen. But the reason is that Flying Queen is saying play Flying Queen. But Flying Queen does get another game. That is so unfair. Life is so unfair. And here's another demonstration of that, because all these guys are waiting so patiently, and then Flying Queen gets a second game. Just not fair. Not fair. Not fair. Okay, let's play a double king pawn. What's going on in my brain right now? This isn't a good opening for you. It's a Scotch game. And he's super happy. He sends me a smiley. Dude, I didn't even do this for you. I was like, I don't even care about Flying Queen. And then I rolled a random die. Okay, I mean, you're just randomly my friend. You're not even my friend. You're just randomly my friend. Don't take it personally. Don't think I actually wanted to play you. I couldn't help it. I rolled a 3. So now I'm just taking free things. Now I'm ahead of pawn. So this is like danger zone right now for me because I'm behind in development, I have less space, and I have an extra pawn. So I need to get Cass. Oh, he's the frown. Well, then I'm going to send him a party hat to celebrate. A happy party hat. Great. So you should celebrate that you're getting to play. So I need to get developed and castled as quickly as possible. I'm concerned about e5 coming at the wrong time. So knight f6, e5 might be pretty problematic. d5 throwing away the pawn again is actually kind of interesting because it helps me to get my pieces out right away. But of course I play d6 because it keeps my pawn. I love extra pawns, and I'm going to keep this extra pawn. Wow, I was just asked by the Miko7, what's my MBTI? Is it INTJ? How did you know, Miko7, that my MBTI is INTJ? How did you even know that? You're amazing. And there's a bunch of chats that I ignored. If you're up a pawn or two, is it a good idea to start trading pieces? Beamer, the answer is yes. It's a good idea to start trading pieces if you can. Now, your opponent is going to try to keep pieces on the board. The whole reason they lost those pawns is because they blundered. Now, the whole reason they lost those pawns is because they're trying to attack you and give up those pawns. So if you trade pieces, the attack becomes weaker. There's less to attack with. So the rule actually is anytime an attack is being fiercely put against you, you should trade. So here's when you should trade. If you're being attacked and you need to relieve pressure, trade. If you have a lot less space, then trade, because you're more cramped and he's less cramped. You trade, then you're less cramped and he's the same because he had enough space. So that's better for you. And of course, if you're ahead, trade. And the other time you should trade is when I say trade. So there's 4 times. How does he know? Mikos is just like, I'm using my intuition that you're int j. I'm a programmer and I would never type int j because j is such an ambiguous name. for a variable. Is there a problem? I don't think there's a problem. Maybe there's a problem. This looks problematic. Int starts with I. How could I be I? I'm so extroverted. This seems problematic. I lost my pawn and it wasn't in a favorable manner. See, watch. Check this out. I'm going to say it out loud even though he's going to listen and then be like, I'm doing that. King h7, knight check, pawn cannot capture because it's pinned by the queen. King must go to h8, then knight back again check, and now he's forking my queen and I have to give up my rook for it. The problem is there's no other options here. There's no better choice. It's just like, would you like a bad choice or a bad choice? Let's try this bad choice. This looks exciting. I bet you didn't see that, flying queen. I bet you didn't see... Wait, my queen just flew off the board. Oh. I didn't see that. Inside the Mind of ChessWhiz is pretty empty. It's very roomy in the Mind of ChessWhiz because there's not much in there. And especially with this queen missing. There's not even a queen in my mind. And now he adds me time like the troll that he is. Flying queen, why don't you just fly out of my show right now? I'm going to terminate you. I'm missing a queen? Okay. Okay, this is so bad. Resign. This has been ChessWhiz TV. Thanks for watching.